Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our YouTube channel. This is again Imran Rafiq, and I would say again a very warm welcome to all of you to our YouTube channel. And in this video, we will talk about the easiest and simple way to write OET letter introduction. So the first paragraph of the OET letter is called introduction, and it should include the reason or the request why you are writing this letter and the patient reference, as well as what is the purpose of the letter, what you want from the receiver to do for your patient. So to get the maximum number, it should be very direct, to the point and concise. So before we go further, let's see the format of the OET letter or the writing subtest. So it will last for 45 minutes. 5 minutes is the reading time and 40 minutes is the writing time for OET letter. So the writing subtest is also profession specific. I will explain it later in the video. So when you are preparing for OET letter writing, you should be very much aware about the OET writing assessment criteria. And this is the assessment criteria, and it has 6 component: purpose, content, conciseness and clarity, genre and style, organization, layout, and language. So if you want to get B grade, you need to get 2 out of 3 in purpose and 5 out of 7 in other criteria. And this criteria is also available on the OET official website, and you can download this public version from their official website. And I will suggest you all that try to understand and learn it by your heart, because it is very crucial and important component of OET letter. So friends, this should be the general format of your OET letter. In the top you will write the date, then the address, it could be 2 address or the 3, then the salutation, and after that the reference line. Number 5, there will be the body of the letter. Here you will write 180 to 200 words. And the last paragraph is called the closing paragraph. You will write your designation with your name, and don't forget to leave the line when you are writing the date, address, salutation, the reference line, or the body or the closing paragraph. So in this way you can write your OET letter in legible way and in a formal format. So on your screen I have displayed the format of the letter when you will write, when you will leave the line throughout the letter, and try to follow this format if you want to get your high score in OET letter writing. So now we will talk about the OET introduction specifically. So what should you include in introduction to make it more effective? So here should be a very specific reason. What is the reason of the letter? Why I'm writing this letter? The main medical issue, of course. Then it should include the reference of the patient, regarding whom I'm writing. And the last, it should be the request, what I want from the receiver. If I'm writing to doctor, what I want from the doctor to do for my patient. If I'm writing to a nurse, what is the responsibility of the nurse towards my patient, what she should do for my patient. And always mention that this patient is getting discharged or he or she is being transferred. So bear in mind, when you are preparing for OET, you need to understand that OET is not like IELTS. It has a format, it has a pattern which is very specific, and you should follow that. So during your preparation, you need to understand how to approach OET letter writing, and how I can use my 5 minute, which is reading time, in OET letter, and what is the assessment criteria, which I already displayed on your screen, and how to understand the task, your role, receiver role, and the purpose and the type of letter. So whenever you are preparing for that, try to focus on the task. Most of the time it is very clear, and everything will be mentioned in the task at the end of your OET question paper. So you will be successful if you really understood the task of the letter, your role and the role of receiver, what is the purpose of that letter, and what kind of letter it is. I mean, the type of letter. Is it a transfer letter? Is it a discharge letter? So if you understood these things during your reading time, which is 5 minutes before starting the actual writing, so it will be very beneficial for you. What the criteria say about purpose? It must be immediately clear, in the first paragraph. So if you want to get the grade B, you need to mention the purpose of the letter in the first paragraph, and we should mention why I'm writing, regarding whom I'm writing, and what is my request or the recommendation for this patient, and what I want from the receiver to do for my patient. And please don't forget to expand it later in your OET letter. When you're writing the body of the letter, the reflection of the purpose should be very much clear in that body of the letter. In other words, what you have mentioned in your purpose, you should explain it or you should support it in the body of the letter when you're writing this letter. So for the better understanding, let's see a sample of introduction. So this is a sample number 1 on your screen. As you can see, I have mentioned the patient reference, the reason or the main medical issue, the letter type, and the purpose or recommendation, or you can say the request of the letter. So as you can see on your screen, it says, I am writing in regard to Mr. John. This is patient reference, who underwent a total knee hip replacement. This is main medical issue or the reason on 7th June 2024 and is being discharged today. It is type of the letter. He will require ongoing care at your facility. This is my request or the recommendation. So I have mentioned 4 main points in my introduction. Point number 1 is the patient reference, Mr. John. Point number 2 is the reason or the main medical issue, that is total left knee replacement. Point number 3 is the type of letter, that says being discharged today. And point number 4 is my request or the recommendation. It means he require ongoing care. So I have mentioned everything which is the demand of assessment criteria. So if you are writing your introduction or your OET letter according to assessment criteria, for sure you will get the higher score. So let's say if you missed anything in the introduction, so it means your introduction or the purpose of the letter is not clear and it is not effective. So there are chances that you will not get your desired score. So let's see another example of effective introduction. So this is sample number 2. It says, I am writing to refer Mr. Aslam, a 55-year-old who requires ongoing care at your facility. He underwent an appendectomy on 18th June 2024 and is being discharged today. So I have given the reference of my patient, who is Mr. Aslam. I have requested the ongoing care. I mentioned the main medical issue, that is appendectomy. And I also mentioned the type of letter, which is a discharge letter. So it is not necessary that you should memorize it or you should learn it by your heart. So you should try to be flexible and don't memorize the samples, because the assessor, they know what you have written. It is according to assessment criteria or it is a memorized pattern. So in this sample, Mr. Aslam is the reference, and my request is because my patient requires ongoing care and main medical issue is appendectomy, and the type of letter is discharge. So I have mentioned what is needed for the assessment criteria, because when the assessor will check my letter, he or she will say, okay, the reference is mentioned, the main medical issue is mentioned, the reason is mentioned, and the type of letter is mentioned. So it's very clear and straightforward. I will suggest you to visit official OET channel on YouTube. You can learn what is the type of the letter, how they are teaching us, what is the latest update on the OET letter writing. And don't forget to subscribe and share this channel with your friend, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.